Welcome to our Unitarian Universalist Society. I'm the Reverend Rachael Hayes, minister of this congregation. I use she, her pronouns. I am grateful to be with you today. We come together to make supportive and meaningful connections, to nurture our spirits, to build beloved community. We are a community of free thinkers, deep divers, justice seekers, and casserole makers. We are dreamers and neighbors, collaborators and workers, listeners, helpers, children, elders, embodying 100 different ways to be human. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Somehow, in the magic of community, each becomes part of something bigger, a tiny word for a big, big thing. Us. You, and you, and you, and you, and you, and all of the people in this room, and all of the people on Zoom with us right now, and even the people who watch the recording later, all of these separate people are part of us. Us, an invitation. Us, a community. Us, a network of support. Us, the challenge to grow. Us, the call to love without stopping. Come, let us worship. I invite you to say the chalice lighting words with me as Rob lights the chalice today. We light this flame to invite a world of peace, where we heal the wounds, where we share what we have with one another, where justice is another word for relationship, and we listen for what love has to say. And now I invite you to rise in body, spirit, heart, and voice to sing our first hymn, The Magic Penny, which is on the screen and your order of service. Love is something if you give it away, give it away.
Give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. But lend it, spend it, you'll have so money, you'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Money's dandy and we like to use it, but love is better if you don't refuse it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it unless you look up your door. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. Let's go dancing till the break of day, and if there's a piper, we can pay. For love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more.
Our children have a special chalice lighting that we say downstairs, the one that starts, "We are Unitarian Universalists." Does anybody know that one? Yeah, okay. Awesome. So I invite especially the children or anybody who wants to come lead us in that, to come forward and lead the whole congregation in saying it together. So are we going to do the hand movements too? Oh yeah, okay. We are Unitarian Universalists with open minds, loving hearts, helping hands, and the glow of generosity. Okay, thank you. That was awesome. So, our expert panel up here, I have questions for you. Yeah. And you don't have to, nobody has to answer, but I'm very interested in what you think. What do you think about when you say this chalice lighting? This kind of puts Eleanor on the spot, but. Okay, you don't have to have an answer. Are we hearing any answers in the room? Yeah.
Start at the top and work your way down.
Yes, start at the top and work your way down. I could preach on that. Any other thoughts on that chalice lighting? Yeah, Lauren.
I feel like a lot of people have loving hearts and helping hands, but the open mind is really challenging.
A lot of people have loving hearts and helping hands, but open minds are very important. Okay. So, this is the part where I am really, what does the glow of generosity mean? Because it sounds really good, but any thoughts?
Generation of spirit.
Generation of spirit. What does that mean, Pete? I like it, but.
I think it means sort of being able to express these things with other people.
Being able to express these things with other people, not just keep it to yourself. Okay, cool. Yeah, Nancy.
I think it's like our Magic Penny song, right? Giving things away to others is how we become glowing.
Giving things away to others is how we become glowing. Ooh, you're very shiny this morning. Okay, any other thoughts? Yeah, Jeff.
I think open mind, loving hearts, and helping hands takes a lot of effort, which sometimes gives you a little sweat on the brow.
So the effort of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands might give you some sweat on the brow and make you glow. Okay, and I saw Kay.
Well, generosity, giving is a form of energy, and energy causes things to glow.
Giving causes energy, and energy causes things to glow. And I saw a hand over here. Sue.
I also think of generosity as connected with it gratitude. So I can give it away because I have gratitude and I can be generous.
Okay. Generosity and gratitude are connected and interrelated. Okay. Yeah, Ed.
Generosity has the same root as generate, to generate.
Oh, you've been reading my sermon. It's not a secret, is it?
Coming attraction.
Okay. Well, thank you all for sharing your wisdom and presence in this moment. Religious education classes are now invited to go downstairs, and the rest of our congregation, please rise in body and spirit to sing our next hymn, number 1008 in the Teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
share the silence of sacred space, and the good of our hearts stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, and our heart is in a holy place. And our heart is in a holy place. And our heart is in a holy place. We are blessed with love and amazing grace. And our heart is in a holy place. And our heart is in a holy place.
Last June, our congregation adopted a mission statement in our annual meeting. What I appreciate about this mission statement is that it was crowdsourced from our congregation rather than proposed by a few individuals. The mission statement process began with two questions. What is our purpose, and how does it guide us? The Committee on Shared Ministries asked these questions or versions of them over the course of 2 years. Why do we exist? What do we want to mean in our community? And it became clear to us very early on that there were 3 main reasons our congregation exists: to support one another through a culture of connection, to nurture our spirits as we learn and grow together, and to build beloved community within and beyond our congregation by putting our ideals and values into action. That is our mission statement. The longer version has more detail about how we want to do those things, but this is the story that we heard over and over again from the members of our congregation. And I don't think anyone in the congregation would have phrased these things exactly the way they sound in the formal statement, but it's clear that the voices who contributed had a shared trajectory. Though some of us take side quests, we are more or less on the same path. The mission of the congregation has changed over the last nearly 140 years. Well, it has and it hasn't. The Universalist circuit-riding preachers came to Amherst in the late 19th century with their mission of hope, not hell, of universal belovedness. And all of that sounds like what we are up to right now. Their version had a lot more Jesus in it than ours. But the central message of love in our relations with one another, in our theology and our practice, in our relations with the larger world, that's what we have always been here to do. Communities guided by liberal theology have followed our values above all, and that is why I'm so encouraged by our mission statement. We do love, and this is how we do it. I like to imagine how our congregation from any point in our past would respond to our congregation now. The woman preacher part wouldn't be especially scandalous. Universalists have had women preachers for a long time, going back to Olympia Brown. She was not the first woman preacher because women have preached forever, but she was the first woman ordained by her denomination in the U.S. She was ordained in 1863, before our congregation even existed, and pastored congregations in Weymouth Landing, Massachusetts, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and Racine, Wisconsin. Our congregation has actually known women ministers since the 1890s. So while my gender might be scandalous for those of us who grew up in or hearing about traditions without women clergy, it is nothing new for our congregation. Our congregation has celebrated queer relationships and families since at least the 1990s. Kids have been growing up in queer families here for decades. I don't actually know the date of our first same-sex union, and if you have more information on that, I would love to hear it. Some of our traditions might feel like they've always been there. The water ritual, which we celebrated last week, is only about 40 years old. The flower ceremony is over 100 years old. Sharing joys and sorrows is maybe 50 years old. That's it. Though the iconography of the flaming chalice goes back to World War II, lighting the chalice in worship only began in the 1980s. Yeah. Traditions come and go, but the central value of love remains. During the 2023 and 2024, I got those dates wrong. 2024 and 2025 General Assemblies of the Unitarian Universalist Association, which is to say the big national meeting of Unitarian Universalists, delegates from congregations all over the country voted to affirm a change to Article 2 of the UUA's bylaws. And stay with me, I know bylaws is a magic word that can put some people to sleep. This is the section of our bylaws that talks about why the Unitarian Universalist Association exists, including the principles and sources we affirm. How many of you are aware that the UUA bylaws, not the culture, but the bylaws, no longer lists these principles? Yeah, you've been reading your UUA world. I appreciate that. The details are slightly different, but it is all still there, perhaps in a more expansive fashion. Instead of listing principles, we have 6 values supported by the central value of love. Justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. And though I was absolutely in favor of this change, the word generosity catches something in me. Maybe because one sense of the word implies that we should have a lot of money to give away, or that it implies money or class in general. And we don't worship money, and we value each other's character and actions, not parentage. But as Ed gave us a preview, generosity is so closely related to generate. And generate is a very exciting word. Generate as in put into motion, generate as in give birth to. How do Unitarian Universalists put our love into motion? Because when we're living our values, we do. We don't just congratulate each other for being good and loving. We make things happen together. Across the National Association, you can see those things when you flip through the pages of UU World Magazine. But let's talk closer to home. Love is making things happen here. Love is cooking up potatoes and eggs and sausage for over 100 people each week during our Wednesday community breakfast. Love is connecting with organizations making the world a better place, introducing them to our congregation and sharing our offering plate with them. Love is getting up early on a Sunday morning to sing in the choir, preparing anthems that open our hearts. Love is calling our attention to issues that matter: Indigenous awareness, climate justice, reproductive justice, democracy. Love is carefully funding and enacting our mission so that we have a lasting impact for our members and community. Love is caring for a precious and peculiar wooden meeting house building so that we have a place to be together. Love is putting that same building in the service of the wider community, offering it as a meeting place for justice, diversity, and collective memory. Love is welcoming people to the service on Sunday at the door, with social hour snacks, with tech, with careful planning and execution of the service. Love is visiting someone going through a rough time, sometimes bringing a home-cooked meal or a bag of cider donuts. Love is nurturing the ethical and spiritual selves of our children and youth, especially while we keep our program running without a director of religious education. It's big. Love is pitching in for potlucks and suppers, is daring to be known and to know others in small groups, is playing charades and building connections, and building trust with people who just happened to show up in this same congregation. Each one of those small acts of love is wonderful, is a seed. But together, they grow, and that is what our congregation is made of. It's not made of shingles or stained glass or land cables or anything else in this room. It is the organic and mystical network between people who have decided to put their love into action. It's a whole micro ecosystem of living in generosity, of love in active connection. In 1893, or in 2025, our congregation has only ever been made of what a group of people decided to accomplish together. I joke sometimes that what is a congregation if not a group project through the centuries? But the institution matters because it's a thing that gives us hope on hard days. We have come through hard days together. The early COVID pandemic, the first Trump administration, just to name a couple that feel very close at hand this morning. Sometimes these feel like the hardest days. I don't know, but these are the days we have right now. It may feel frivolous to ask you to put your time and attention and energy into our congregation when so much is going wrong everywhere. But I don't think that's true. The touchstones of investing our attention into something we can feel making a difference can sustain us, not just the connections we nurture. And it's not only the giving side of that investment that builds our generosity. There's a reciprocity to this flow. I know that we'd all love to give from the things that are perfect and finished in ourselves, but our congregation is made of connection, not perfection. Please don't wait till you're out of the hospital to let us know you've been sick. It happens every year. Don't wait for the crisis to be over and digestible to open your heart. These connections that make us stronger are forged in vulnerability, not in presentability or excellence. When I found Unitarian Universalism as a young adult, I was in a rough-ish place. I was grieving the end of my first career, realizing that it didn't offer what I wanted after all. The center point of my week was my therapy appointment. I'm hearing some knowing laughter. That was not something I looked forward to in a happy way. And then I walked through the doors of Fourth Universalist. I began to live my week Sunday to Sunday, not therapy to therapy. And this is not a rejection of therapy, and I didn't quit going to therapy. But my therapy was full of things in my life that I had to figure out how to change. The congregation was something else altogether. That's where I connected with the part of me that has always been worthy and whole. Being with a room full of people who saw my worthiness and wholeness week after week made it easier for me to see it in myself. Being part of that kind of community made me want to share it, to receive it, but also to make it. It made me generous in a way that didn't have much to do with money at all. I came to the potluck. I helped replant the garden. I facilitated a small group. I co-led services. I started a racial justice initiative, which led to public witness events, both at marches and in front of our doors. Or rather, this is not a story about me. We did. The members of that congregation and I did together. Getting involved in that congregation transformed my life. I had more capacity and more daring to take on hard things, including seminary, including surviving other life changes that I could never have anticipated, because I had a network of generosity bolstering me. People who believed in me abundantly, people I wanted to be just as good to as they were to me. I don't know if I would be your minister now without the gift of being so deeply connected to that congregation for that pivotal period of my life. It is a gift to yourself, not just the congregation, to participate in the life and labor of the congregation. Today, following the service, we're having an event in the social hall. It's called Building Shared Community. And I encourage you to go and find a way to get involved in the many committees, circles, and events that make our communities strong, generous, and brilliant. This is our congregation, and it will be what we make it. Please take a breath with me. This week has been a hard one for so many. It has wrung me out. This week in which outrage has had so much airtime and compassion itself has been politicized. This week in which hearts have broken, in which so many people have suffered and died, many of them in completely preventable ways that our society refuses to prevent. Oh, my heart. Oh, my breath. Oh, my soul. This week in which I might have done better, or I expected someone else to do better than I did or could do, in which I longed for generosity I could not provide, and still I breathe, and still my heart beats, and I made it somehow to this moment. Let me give myself the generosity of saying that this self, this me, right here, is enough. Even for one breath, even for one heartbeat, just to try it on, to be enough. If I can be enough, enough can be a place to start. Enough can be a place to plant myself as I love others, even imperfectly, in a good enough way. To see and name the enough in others, and to know that it is the inherent worthiness no one can erase. And to remember that same inherent worthiness in myself and all people. Worthy in this moment, and free to act from my highest convictions, deepest values, and true call to love. May it be so. For me, and for you, and for all. Amen. And blessed be. I invite you to remain seated for our meditation hymn, number 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life. if our generosity actually did glow? If we could see a bright cord stretching from the giver to the recipient, if we could see our generosity welling up, flowing out from our congregation just as the light shines from our chalice, what could such a glow accomplish? What would it inspire us to dream next? Though we have talked mostly about non-monetary generosity today, many of us also have the capacity to share our money as well. And during September, our congregation generously shares half of our offering basket with Village Light, a volunteer-run organization that brings critical aid to remote mountain villages in Nepal. Half of the money collected in our offering today supports the programs of our congregation. The other half of the money will support Village Light in their good work. Please give generously today in the basket, by text, by check, or through our website, uusocietyamherst.org/donate. Join me in the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, until we are together again. We are about to sing our closing song. You are welcome to stay right where you are and be held in the love of this congregation just as you are in this moment. Or you are welcome to rise and move into a circle along the outer aisle, hold hands with the people next to you, or place your hands over your heart as we sing This Day We Come. Within each of our hearts there is a most glorious light. Go forth and let its spark help you understand what troubles both you and others. Go forth and let its light of reason be a guide in your decisions. Go forth and bring its ray of hope to those in need of help in both body and spirit, that they may find healing. Go forth and fan the flames of passion to help heal our world. Go forth and spread the warm glow of love, pushing back the darkness of the world. Go forth and share your glorious light with the world.